Hey guys, so Cherub up here, and this is the first video in my retro series that I'm going to show you. And why retro? Uh, because these are things that I built a long time ago, and I've been very proud of them. A lot of them, believe it or not, I am still using to this day. Not only do I show you guys like my home lab, small bore computers, but now I want to show you past projects that I have built. Okay, and this is the Pimoroni, sounds like pepperoni, but Pimoroni Pirate Radio. It was a Pi Zero kit that you could buy. You had to provide your own Pi Zero, okay, with header. And believe it or not, another reason I'm very proud of this kit is I had to solder on the headers myself. I know a lot of people they go with these solderless header kits, but no, I actually soldered this. And it really did look like a little radio. I mean, it comes with a 5 watt uh speaker, okay? It's got a nice little hat that they don't sell anymore. I wish they did. That shows the volume as it increases. You have 6 buttons on here, okay, that you can control the output. And just the plastic that they give you for the kit was very impressive. I mean, it looked like I said, a radio. Now they have a new one out. It's not the same, and I don't see it close by, or I show it to you. But they've replaced it with this thing called the Pirate Audio, and it sits on top of either a Pico or a Pi Zero with header as well. And again, I just don't like it because I don't like the feel of it. To me, it's not the same as this kit. I keep hoping they would update this kit, but I kind of understand why they don't. And as we go through this kit, and I'm showing you how it works, you'll understand why. In fact, I was going to build my own pirate radio or internet radio. I know a lot of guys they use the ESP32s to do internet radios. In fact, I've asked people if they could give me instructions on how to build one. But needless to say, they've ignored my ask. So I'm gonna look. I do want to play around with P32s. I think they're pretty cool. But again, this, all right, is powered by a Raspberry Pi Zero, and this is the first generation. Okay, and I'm running this off of a Micro Center 16 gig, okay, SD card because unlike a lot of the other small bore computers, Pi's seem to be okay with Micro Center's cards. I don't have a backup of this, so I really do need to make a backup because if I ever lose that SD card, okay, I am going to lose the ability to run this because Pimori, um, they actually came out with all the software to control this hat and the running the playlist. Now this thing uses VideoLAN and it uses VideoLAN D. This is all headless, okay? So let's get it hooked up and I'll kind of show you how it works. Okay, so we got it hooked up. I'm using my power over Ethernet injector, so I don't have to go look for a micro power supply. I do have some because I still have a bunch of Pi 3s, and they use them. So it is booting up. Let's see. Um, see if I can get you guys to see it, but I'm not sure it will focus in on it. But there is a green light on the Pi Zero, and it's booting up. Here in a second, it will launch the launch list, and we will hopefully it will be in something that's not copyright. Did you see that? See, look, see the flashes? It is actually to the point where it's going to start working here in a second. Okay? But I would take this outside and hook it up and listen as I worked outside. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the volume down so we don't get copyright strike, okay? But you can see that there's a light glow, and that's from the audio. Now, what's pretty cool is I could change radio stations by pressing these buttons up here. So like, I can go through and turn it up just a little bit. Again, there we go. I'm going to turn it up, and as the volume goes up, you can see the meter working. Okay. And yes, this is old time radio, and based on who's talking, it's probably yours truly, Johnny. Okay, so we'll turn it down. But this is pretty cool, and I really love the project. In fact, so much so, like I said, I was going to build my own. So let's go look at the web pages and find information on this. Again, you can't get this kit. I really wish they would re-release it. I'll try to show you guys what the new one looks like. The new one actually uses a different software altogether. And I can't say I don't like it. Just, I prefer this one, okay? Okay, so we're on Pimoroni's website, and we are on the actual kit itself, okay? And this to show you, they're based out of the UK, and they come up with all kinds of stuff. This is their main website. If you're into arcade stuff, they do these small little, I wouldn't call them cocktail, they're tabletops, okay? And you can get those. I actually have another project that I use one of their items. Actually, no, that's not true. I have several of their kits, but one of them I used when I went to an event. I've been wanting to use it since then, but you see this ink impression like they got here? It was a batch kit, and it's pretty cool. And it is actually using the Pico board, not a Pi Zero. So great place for you to find stuff for you to work on, or if you're trying to get your kids into electronics, you can go over there. So anyway, this is the Pirate Radio, a Pi Zero, and WH means with header kit, okay? And this is the box it came in. I still have the boxes. They're very nice boxes, okay? But it came in a box like this. and it was really nice. Everything that you needed in there, except, okay, the pie with headers, and or no, um maybe it did come with it. I just remember that I had to solder it, okay? And it was a great way for me to learn soldering, okay? And as you can see, we no longer stock this product. And when you come down, the kit contains, oh, it does come with a pie. Okay, see, I actually think I purchased this back in 2017, maybe 2018. It's been a long time, and like I said, I try to take care of it. So it comes with a Raspberry Pi Zero with headers, and you do have to solder them. If you are not a good, um, if you're not good at soldering, you can purchase a solderless kit. Essentially, you hammer the headers in. You could do that. An audio board with IS or I2S Deka stereo amp, VU monitor, and 6 buttons. That's the header that I told you about. And then the single 5-watt 4-ohm speaker, blue acrylic enclosure, and that's the case that you saw, a 50 centimeter USB to USB-A to micro B male adapter, okay? And I don't know where that went, but I really don't need it anymore. Sticker sheet so you can personalize, and I think I gave that to my daughter because at the time she was like 5 or 6, and it was cool. And then a reusable box, and then a 16 gig micro center SD card that I purchased myself, because as you can see here, you have to do that. So down here are the features. Okay, I'm not going to read those on there. It has a one-line installer that was pretty cool. And by the way, the hat, it's called a P hat or fat beat. That's the hat that's on there that has the volumes. And they used to sell those, and it's pretty cool. And it's written in a Python language. And again, this is a great kit. In fact, when Micro Center was selling these, I actually approached the manager and said, hey, why don't you let me assemble these, and then you probably could sell more kits because you can show off. And because there's another kit I'll be showing in this retro series where you could actually have your own little scrolling messages, and that was pretty cool. All right, I'm going to show you one more thing that's pretty cool about this, and then I'm going to talk about why I believe this kit's no longer around. Okay, folks, so I have in front of me, and I went ahead and logged in. So currently the wireless is on the IP that you see in front of you, and the reason that we're doing 2 cameras right now so you can see me control this. So right now we're playing this radio station, and let's back up a couple steps. So once you can figure out the IP of your internet radio, you can control it with a web GUI and not just the 6 buttons that are on the hat that's plugged to the Pi Zero. And to do that, you get the IP, and then you go to 8080, okay? And then the password is Raspberry, okay? And it's been up and working now for 2 minutes and 41 seconds. And just to kind of show you, I am going to go to this one here. And hopefully that one, yep, that one's playing. So, okay, and this, right now, nothing on the meter board.
Time comes, I hope that's all I ever die of. Ready? Yeah. Date this week to Mr. Elliot Parson.
Okay, and there we go. You can see it, and I'm controlling it.
13, California.
And I'm going to move to the next radio station. And I'm going to hit stop so that we don't get copyright written. So this was a great way for me to control it. Now, everybody's probably saying, hey, that's all good and tail, but how did I get my M.3 with all these radio stations? Well, we'll take a look at that next, okay? So I got Mobile X Term up and running, and we're going to go ahead and SSH over to the device. And again, remember, what I would recommend is if you have a wireless router at the house, okay, I would definitely get the MAC address of your Raspberry Pi Zero, put it in there, and assign it to an IP so you can always find it. I used to be able to do that. I have rebuilt my router, and I need to update it so that it always grabs the same IP. All right, so, all right, there's our IP address. And then I'm going to come in and mess up the password like I always do. All right. And then I'm going to say no. Mobile X Term, if you haven't messed around with it, I would definitely give it a try. It's so much better than Putty. All right, so we're on there. And just to show you guys, you know, there's the IP address. And for those, we'll make the font a little bit bigger. So when you come into this, the first thing that you have to do once you get this thing all together, you have to download and install the software. And the software that they have in here are these two folders, which is the one setup. And if I remember right, yep, this command here, okay, and that's how I got it set up. Now, one of the things I want to show you that I think I know why they've never updated this is if you take a look at the version of the OS I'm currently running, I'm running Raspbian 9 or Debian 9, okay, Stretch. And we're Trixie, which is Debian 13, just came out a couple months ago. So yeah, this version of the OS is outdated. But if we look, what they did to make this work is they used VLC. And there it is, and it's playing. And I'm going to go over something that I discovered, believe it or not, about a week ago. And I'm pretty proud of myself. I don't have everything like they have here, but we probably could throw up all the flags. Okay, instead of using VideoLAN D, which is their daemon, we're going to use VideoLAN C, which is their client. But anyway, I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay. If you go up underneath Etsy VLAN CD, okay, this will be where you find the default M3U, okay, and I'm just going to cat it and head it, Okay, and head means I only want to grab 10 lines, the top 10 lines, so that I can show you guys. Tail will grab the last 10 lines, okay? And you go in there and you put in the URL of the internet radio that you want to listen to, okay? And back over on our GUI, which if you don't like port 8080, you can go in there and change it. I just hadn't figured out on this particular model where to change it. But now, again, this right here is pirate radio. So let's say you don't want to use a internet radio. If your SD card is big enough, you can go into the default M3U and you could point it to a directory, okay, of music that you're listening to. All right. And I can give you an example of that. Okay, so I created a M3U playlist and I call it test. And we're going to cat it out just to show you. Okay. And I have 3 songs that I copied over, and you can see it here. I use mobile Xterm to SCP them directly over. And just to make sure that, you know, VLC knows where to play them, I went ahead and put the full path into there. And then I went into my directory. Okay, and we're going to do cat again, the default M3U, 3U. And then again, we're going to type head, but this time, yeah, we'll just do head. Okay, and see at the very top, there's my playlist. So you can copy over your music and you can play it. Now, this is royal-free music, so hopefully I won't get copy struck, but real quick, let's switch back over to Brave so I can show you in the GUI where it is. So 1 second. If you look now, the top 3 lines are the 3 songs that I have in my home directory, and it does show up. And then what I can do is I can select one of these. Okay, and we'll stop it. It can play it. So you can set up your own files to play, so you don't have to worry about just internet radios. Okay, but no, this was a very cool project. Now, again, if we're looking at the smaller window, I found the updated pirate audio that replaced the pirate radio. And this one, as you guys can see, this has 4 speaker wires. And this was going to be the heart of my internet radio. And the only thing that this one does is it has a LCD, and it uses different software. And why? And I never could understand, because when I bought this initially, I was super excited because I was like, oh, cool, LCD. I can make my own little portable MP3 player. And I still could. I just need to print it, figure out how to charge up a battery. They do have one that comes with an inline, so I could plug headsets up and all that. So let me show you why it's no longer they no longer use VLCD. Okay, and the reasoning is crazy, but we can, in our sense, have our own pirate radio, and I'm going to show it to you. All right, so the following information might be wrong, and if it is, I apologize. But it does appear that after 2.2.6 of VLC, they removed the daemon for VLC, and that's a pity. Again, this is running on Stretch, which is Debian 9, long time ago. So, you know, you got to modernize it. And I get that. So, for the last couple years, because I really do want to build my own internet radio, like I've told you guys, I have been looking at what replaced it. What can I use to play my URLs? Okay. Now, I probably could use mPlayer. There seems to be a command line version, but I like the interface that VLC gives me. Now, with the Pirate Audio, you do get like a checklist, and you can use MP3s locally. You can more or less kind of like set up a jukebox, and that's kind of cool. But I've noticed that the software, and it's called Mophius, Mopify, doesn't seem to want to work on all distros. Okay, so again, I was left with like, okay, what replaced VLCD? So this is a Fedora 42 distro that we're on. It's the same one, you guys, if you follow me, that I've been playing Fallout New Vegas on. It's on a nice little Raspbian, or sorry, not Raspbian, B-Link Series 5 Ryzen. That's where I get the Raspbian. Trust me, when you're dyslexic, your brain works totally different, okay? But anyway, I wanted to see if I could come up with something. So I did some research, and I found out that while VLCD is gone, there is a new, well, maybe it's not new. Anyway, you can use CVLC, and that's Charlie Victor Lima Charlie, to essentially play stuff from the command line. Okay, so you can go again headless. And what I'm planning on doing is putting down a Orange Pi 3, or maybe this is an Orange Pi 2. Anyway, I'm putting this down, and I'm gonna try to set up this with what I'm showing you guys now. Okay, so I came up with a little script because I've been playing around with it for a while, and I'm going to leave in the description a link to my website, uglyscale.press, that shows how I got this working. So, and I'll even put a copy of the script, and you can go and change it and make it a little bit better. I am looking at trying to get a System D up and running so that I can really have this working like VLCD. So the first thing you'll notice is it is a bash script. I went ahead and set up a password, and just to see if I could manipulate the playing on different ports, I went ahead and set up port 8181 instead of the traditional 8080, which is what the old VLDC defaults to. Okay, and I wanted to tell it to bind it to all ports. And the reason I did this simple little script, and I'm going to get an error that it can't write to the log file, because I'm running this as myself. I'm not running it as sudo. And because of that, I don't have rights to write to the folder. So for right now, ignore this line, okay? And just to show you that it is working, okay, here it is. So there's our VLC that I want, okay? It's running in dummy mode, which is the CVLC, okay? It is playing this, my playlist, and then pretty much the rest of this is my script, okay? And we're going to switch now back to Brave, and I'm going to show you, and then on the speaker that I put down, you'll hear some British old-time radio shows. 1 second. Anytime you connect to VLC, there is no username. You leave that blank, and you'll use the password that you set. I'm sorry I didn't show you guys that logging in, but I'm letting you guys know now. So now you can see I am connected. I am on port 8181, and this is my small playlist. Okay, so we said we would try some British.
Next time I'm down.
Okay, we'll hit pause. So see, it works. So now I'm super excited because now I can use different boards. I don't have to rely on Moffett to play to do my playing. I can use VLC. I have my access like I want to, and I can start working on my project again. Okay. So anyway, I hope you guys like this retro walk and kind of, hey, this is where the project was and here's how we can continue it. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And please leave me some comments. I do try to answer all of them. Okay. And if you got any recommendations, great. Again, I'm going to put a link to this that talks about how I am using VLC to replace VLD on modern devices. Alright, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this pirate radio, and I really would like to hear some feedback from you guys. Until next time, this is TerraPup, wishing you all peace.